Rome is a large city that is situated next to the Tiber River, 20,000 steps from the ocean. This area's neighboring hills can be readily walled, and the river easily passes through it. 7 hills were encircled by the old Roman wall. Rome was established 753 years before Christ. Hello and welcome to Z, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. On the most revered hill in Rome, the Caputiline Hill, there are several holy structures, with the Temple of Jupiter being the most well-known. The Arx is the solidly walled portion of the hill that faces north. Added to coins are manufactured of precious metals in the Temple of Juno Moneta in the Arx. There is a massive structure called the Tabularium at the base of the hill where mail and public letters are preserved. The Roman Forum is located beneath the Capitoline and Palatine hills. There used to be a large lake in the valley, but it dried up after through an underground sewer system known as Cloaca Maxima, the water was switched to the river. Every day, a sizable number of people visited the Roman Forum. It was flanked by several government and religious structures and was the busiest and most populated area in the city. This is the Basilica Emilia, the largest public structure along with the Basilica Julia. Inside the Forum. In the fora of Roman towns, basilicas used to be located better. The basilica served as a public space in the past. There were several enterprises and legal proceedings. Later, Christians utilized the basilical shape for religious purposes. Place where liturgy is celebrated. Several centuries later, when the empire formally embraced Christianity, the phrase was often used to describe significant or enormous churches. This is how the today denomination is utilized in both architectural and theological contexts. In the section of the Forum known as Comitium, next to the Basilica Emilia, where is the Curia? The Curia is the location of Roman Senate sessions. There are 600 senators in the Senate. Prior to Caesar's reign, very aristocratic individuals held the position of greatest authority in the Roman Republic. There is a high area before the Comitium where speakers address the crowd. Because seized ships' front sea walls were decorated, this location is known as rostra. Latin's rostra is the plural form of rostrum, which is the iron component. It extends from the ship's bows and was used to engage opposing ships. Numerous eminent orators, including Cicero, ascended to the rostra to address the populace. The Temple of Janus was unquestionably the smallest of the Roman temples. Additionally, it was the oldest. 2 doorways at this temple are constantly open. They are only shut when the land and the sea are at peace throughout the whole empire. From the reign of Augustus to the era of Romulus, these doors were only shut twice. Augustus, as a result of his victory against Marcus Antonius at the Battle of Actium, it was shut for the 3rd time in 700 years. The Temple of Vesta, which had a circular design, lies on the other side of the Forum. Shape. Vesta is a goddess of home and fire, and her temple is where an unquenchable fire burns. To ensure that the fire would not spread, 6 Vestal virgins, daughters of renowned Romans, were selected. Was never put out since Rome immortal city was symbolized by the flames. Following the Regia, home of the Maximum Pontiff and former residence of the Roman kings, is the Temple of Vesta. All other Roman priests report to the Maximum Pontiff as their prefect. The Roman priest's role was to take care of the sacred objects and offer animal sacrifices to the gods. Located in front of the Regia, the Gaius Julius Caesar Temple, also known as the Temple of the Divine Julius. After his death, Caesar, like all Roman emperors, was elevated to the status of a deity and given the title divine. The Divine Julius Temple was created by his nephew Augustus, the same location where his corpse was burned by the bereaved locals. A sizable temple may be seen on each side of the Basilica Julia. To the right beneath the Capitoline, the Castor and Pollux Temple is to the left of the Temple of Saturn. The treasury, or location where public funds are kept, is the Temple of Saturn. This outdated temple was burned down and reconstructed. The Castor and Pollux Temple is devoted to the Romans prayed to the twin gods Castor and Pollux, sons of Jupiter, for assistance in combat. The Senate and the citizens of Rome constructed a bridge between this temple and the Temple of the Divine Julius. In front of the tabularium is a marble arch commemorating Augustus' victory during the Battle of Actium. The temples of Concord and the Divine Vespasian. The construction of the Concord Temple discord between the patricians and the Slavs, two rival groups into whom the Roman people had been split. People from plebs. When everyone's sense of community was ultimately restored, the temple was constructed. The prison known as Tullianus, with its foul underground portion, is located close to this temple. The apex to honor the conquests of Emperor Septimius Severus was constructed to the northwest of the Forum. Caracalla and Geta participated in two operations against the Parthians under Septimius Severus. Caesar Augustus built a monument called the Military Emporium close to the temple. That's Saturn. This monument was thought to be the starting point for all highways throughout the empire, and the empire's distances were all measured in relation to it. The divine temple Titus and Domitian, his sons, built Vespasian following their father's passing. The porticos of the 12 gods stand just across from this temple, and goddesses, each represented by a golden statue inside its own portico. You might be asking how we know what an area like this used to look like at this point. If just the foundations and perhaps a few columns are remain. These remnants support us. Determine the building's size and scale. In addition, there are few structures have endured over the years, just as the representations of the structures on ancient coins. The volumes that Vitruvius wrote are, however, what are most significant. In Rome, there are several today. We look at the public structures that encircled the most significant area of the city. If you'd like to view the second segment of this video, in which we examine several architectural typologies, click here. Similar to this, then please help the channel by liking this video and subscribing.